Hello. I'm Hojo.
And I'm Hunnsy.
And welcome to this, the 24th episode of Hojo and Hunssy's Hard Rock House, the safe space for old rock gumbies just like us, where, in a break with tradition, the 24th episode is going to be released on the 24th. Not the 26th, which would normally be the day that we're now, but the 24th of December, because it's Christmas Eve. Whoa! Happy Christmas, Hunnsy.
Happy Christmas to you too. I just hope there's some people out there who will be listening to it rather than...
What do you think? Do you think people will put Christmas to one side, no presents, no turkey, no family, just to listen to Hojo and Hunssy's Hard Rock House?
Well, I'd like to think that people will gather round a warm fire. They'll go, stick these two idiots on, we'll have a listen to this.
Better than the Queen's speech, the King's speech now, isn't it?
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? What's your favourite heavy metal Christmas song? There's been several. If you go on Spotify, I was doing a bit of research this morning.
Well,
yeah. You can go and... I was. You can... Yeah.
I know one that springs to mind, and I really like it, but tell me some more.
They tend to be heavy metal versions of traditional Christmas songs. For example, Helix have done several, right? So
they
Canadian rockers Helix have done Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
And what are they like?
Awful. You should hear their version of Silent Night. It is absolutely brilliant. There was one that was called Mistress for Christmas. Do you know that one?
That's AC/DC.
Yeah, terrible song.
It's terrible.
Yeah. One of my particular favourites is Run, Run, Rudolph by Faster Pussycat.
Oh, dear.
That's worth checking out. Pretty Boy Floyd did a song called Father Christmas. Anybody out there, if you want a Christmas playlist that isn't the usual stuff that people tend to put on over Christmas, there is a Spotify playlist called Heavy Metal Christmas Songs, and it is just the 8 hours and 30 minutes long.
I'm not strong enough for that.
Really?
No, I don't think so. So anyway, we get back to what my favourite metal Christmas song is.
Yes.
Very easy for me.
Go on then.
Christmas Time, Don't Let the Bells End by The Darkness.
All right, yeah. That is it. Yeah.
Just let them ring. And do you remember why it's funny?
Well, because it's Bell End.
Well, it isn't, is it, though? Because it says Bell's End, doesn't it? But
yeah.
It sounds like Bell End, which is obviously funny. But the bit that people miss out on is it goes, Christmas Time, don't let the bells end. Christmas time, just let them ring peace. Very childish schoolboy humour.
They are very funny, The Darkness.
And it's a good song as well, isn't it?
It's a great song. Do you remember, which is the same thing, remember and recall,
the
first time you and I ever saw The Darkness and where we were?
Bournemouth or somewhere like that.
It was when I was living in Brighton.
Right.
And you were down visiting, and we went to a venue called the Concord 2, which is down on the beach in Brighton, to go and watch Brit rockers, The Wild Heart.
Yes, and The Darkness was supporting, were they?
Yes. So the Concord in Brighton is one of those venues where you walk in and there's a long bar, and the venue is actually through into a different room, but you can kind of see it from the bar. It was sold out. It was packed. And we walked in, and we didn't know who was supporting. We walked in during The Darkness's set, and it was at the point where Justin was being carried on the shoulders of one of the rows.
Yeah.
And he came in through to the bar area on someone's shoulders, and me and you were just going, bloody hell, who are this lot?
It took me a while to get The Darkness, because I had a big problem with the singing and all that. At first, I just went, what is this shit?
No, I've always been a fan. I always thought that Justin's singing was different, but you're now saying that you like it.
Okay, here's my example, right? All those death metal people, when they first started, and it was all, that was all different, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was also rubbish. Do you like that kind of singing as well?
In moderation, yes.
The only thing I like with death metal, do you remember where that bloke had a pet parrot and he got him to squawk along to death metal? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember that. That was good.
That was good. No, I like a singer who can sing.
Justin can sing.
He does some silly things, doesn't he? When I first saw him, I remember going, this is completely stupid.
But now you like it?
No, I think I tolerate it.
All right, okay.
I like a lot of their stuff, and I tolerate the silliness. Not the silliness. I like the silliness. I like the funny words. I like the self-deprecating nature of it. I just don't like it when he does the silly Freddie Mercury with his nuts in the hi-hat vibe.
They do it with that knowing wink. I don't know whether this is true, but someone told me this. Apparently, their first album, Permission to Land, do you know what they were originally going to call it? And the record company went, you can't do that.
What was it?
They were originally going to call it Bat Out of Hell 2.
That would have been very good.
Because obviously it was before Bat Out of Hell 2 actually did come out.
Yeah, and you just try and pick up some unsuspecting punters.
Again, that's funny.
That is funny. We agreed they're funny. We're just not agreed on the voice.
But we agreed that their Christmas song is your favourite Christmas song.
Yes, it is my favourite Christmas song. Should we just mention the fact that we're celebrating Christmas with a special on today's podcast? And what's that special, Hunnsy? I think we've mentioned it before, but I bet people have forgotten.
We're going to do a Christmas quiz.
It's the Battle of the Wives.
It is.
You've set 10 for my wife, the lovely Louise. I've set 10 for your wife, the lovely Sahra. Yeah. And we're going to see who knows the most about heavy metal. It could be a poor haul, couldn't it? My wife hates heavy metal.
But your wife, despite hating heavy metal, she loves everything about it apart from the music.
Exactly. She does love everything about it apart from the music. And her day job is working in heavy metal, working on Rock Candy Mag with me.
Exactly. So she's got skin in the game, right?
What about your missus?
I would say that she has a modicum of knowledge. She liked Bon Jovi back in the day. She used to go and see Bon Jovi.
You beat her around the head with relentless heavy metal day in, day out.
This is what I'm banking on. Her points tally will be a reflection of how much she listens to me.
Yeah. If she gets bored, that'll say a lot.
It will. We'll see how it goes. But before we do that, we have to talk about what we've been listening to, don't we?
Yes, we do. So put your reindeer antler horns on, get a mince pie down your neck, Hunnsy, and tell us what you've been listening to this Christmas week.
This album has been mentioned before on one of the previous pods. I'm going to say it's to quote someone who, when I spoke to them this morning and said, I've been listening to this album, they went, that is a hard rock tour de force. I was hungry for rock.
Right, okay.
And there was only one album that I thought could rescue me. I've been listening to Y&T's Earthshaker album.
From 1981?
Their third studio album. Their first album under the moniker of Y&T.
What did you think of the first two Yesterday and Today albums?
I thought they were all right. They were a bit meat and potatoes.
Yeah, a little bit.
But this was the one. This was I'm going to use the word breakthrough album, wasn't it, really?
Yeah.
Do you know why they changed their name from Yesterday and Today? Apparently, that when they used to do gigs and the crowd were loving it and they wanted an encore, everybody was just going, Y&T, Y&T.
Yeah.
Instead of going, Yesterday and Today.
Right, so what do you love about Earthshaker?
It's just a brilliant hard rock album full of brilliant songs. It's got a brilliant drum sound.
Leonard Hayes.
He used to wear flip-flops on stage.
Yeah, he was quite a fat fella, wasn't he?
He was. I was first introduced to Y&T. There used to be a rock show in Newcastle on Metro Radio called the Hot and Heavy Express.
Sounds good.
And there was a presenter called Alan Robson. He was the first person to play Y&T. Not the first person ever. And it was Rescue Me. He used to play it absolutely to death. He used to play it 3 or 4 times a night on a show. He used to go on playing it again.
I'm not sure that's right.
Alan Robson loved the Y&T and then started playing it in the club. But then I saw Y&T. They were supporting AC/DC on the For Those About to Rock tour. They were absolutely brilliant. I think they opened up with Hungry for Rock. Dirty Girl. What a song, Dirty Girl. And I bought the 12-inch of Rescue Me. And on the B-side was I Believe in You. The guitar work in I Believe in You. If I was forming a band... Right.
That's Steve Menichetti, the vocalist and lead guitarist of Y&T.
If I was forming a band of dead or alive people just to form a supergroup, I would have Menichetti as my lead guitarist. He just plays with so much feeling, and I love this record. It brings back so many memories of an early teenager getting into hard rock and heavy metal. This is great American hard rock.
I reviewed Y&T. I think it might well have been their very first UK show at the Marquee in London,
right?
Around about the time of the release of Earthshaker. And I have to tell you, Hunnsy, it was one of the hottest gigs I've ever been to. It was absolutely sweltering. The place was rammed and it was just incredible. It was like being in a sauna. It really was. And they were fantastic. They were very much loved by the British metal press, weren't they? Journo favourite.
Didn't really do much in the States, that record.
It's when they went all shit and commercial that it went well for them in America. Do you remember that song Summertime Girls? What a load of pants that was.
Oh, the video was funny though, wasn't it? I just always remember like Leonard Hayes with his little pot belly on the beach.
They did go really shit, didn't they?
I disagree. I think Summertime Girls is a great pop.
Awful. Absolutely awful. Great man. Really nice. I've interviewed him a couple of times. Very nice man, but no, Summertime Girls, terrible.
Dave's the only original member because sadly Phil Kennemore passed away, Leonard Hayes passed away, Joey Alves passed away.
Well, hats off to Y&T. Earthshaker, I think we're both in agreement. It is a real 1980s hard rock gem. If you don't know the band, go and check them out.
What have you been listening to?
A band that's completely not known, not successful, but a real undiscovered gem for me. There's a band called Baby Chaos.
God, yeah, I saw them loads of times.
Did you? How did you see them loads of times? Were they always on the road? I know very little about this band, despite the fact they've got probably 4 albums out or something.
Yeah, God, Baby Chaos. They used to support the Wild Hearts quite a lot.
Everybody supported the Wild Hearts.
And Three Colours Red and that sort of Brit rock. Scottish band, weren't they?
They were a Scottish band, yes. I believe from Glasgow, though I could be wrong. They had an album on East West in 1994 called Safe Sex, Designer Drugs and the Death of Rock and Roll. A bit arch, a bit knowing.
Yeah.
But I didn't really pay much attention to them. And then they never really went anywhere, kept going, the odd album here and there. And then 4 years ago, 2020, nearly 5 years ago now, they put out this album called Ape Confronts Cosmos. Again, maybe the title's a little bit arch, I don't know. But it's 13 songs, and the best way that I can describe it is, you know your nemesis, Radiohead, from when you were saying last week with the French girls who were drunk trying to make you play Radiohead?
Yeah.
I would say this album sounds like if Radiohead played hard rock, this is what it would sound like. So it's quite arty. It may not be for everybody, but it's really good, clever songwriting. Musicianship's very good. Singer's very good. And it really is a record that stretches the boundaries of what you might anticipate hard rock to be. It's definitely hard rock. They play really tough. But the song structures and the lyrics, I'll give you some examples. One song's called Mouse.Lion.Mouse. One's called Everything I Counted On Has Been Proved Wrong. Another one is called Your Body Is a Nervous Work of Art. Def Leppard haven't been writing those lyrics, have they? That's not work there, is it? It's definitely different, but very interesting. And I think that they are great songwriters. Gone absolutely nowhere. But it's weird. It makes me think about the vagaries of success, because they really aren't a million miles away from Radiohead. Baby Chaos really not a million miles away from that. And you would have thought, in a way, the kind of artsy-fartsy weirdness of Radiohead mixed with a more punchy style of playing would have really worked in America, where they like a bit of rock and roll and devil horns. But for whatever reason, didn't take off. But I was doing my usual Hunnsy, pounding out the miles in the gym, had that on the headphones, and was really, really impressed by their craft, I suppose is the word. Do you know that record?
I don't know that record, no. They were only ever a live band for me. I kind of listened to that first record that you just mentioned at the time when it came out. But for me, they were always just a band that you walked into venues and they were on. They were very, very engaging to watch. They were loud. They were energetic. They were different. I guess that's why Ginger loved them so much, because they didn't just play standard rock songs. That was kind of interesting.
I did see that they're doing a show in Glasgow over the Christmas period. They're obviously still active in some kind of a fashion.
Yeah.
Presumably playing for the love of playing.
Interesting band. One of those bands that were in that period of mid-90s, let's just call it Brit rock. Your Wild Hearts, your Terrorvisions were doing stuff, but they never quite got to that headline slot.
Rock of any kind in the UK in that period was just like a real minority sport, because everybody had got the bowl cut and were going to watch Oasis, weren't they?
Exactly. But anyway, they're classed as one of those bands that everybody says that they like them, but didn't like them enough to buy their records.
Maybe that's what it is. Now that the world of streaming is upon us, nobody has to buy their records again. So maybe there'll be a Baby Chaos resurgence. Who knows? This could be the catalyst of a Baby Chaos resurgence, and we would be responsible.
Great choice. Completely different from mine, which I like as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of the pod, isn't it?
Right then.
So, Hunnsy, it's the big moment for Christmas. We've been promising this for literally minutes, and finally the time has come. It's the battle of the wives who hate metal, about who has the most knowledge of hard rock. Introducing in the red corner, the lovely Louise. She sounds nervous. And in the blue corner, Sahra.
Yay!
Okay, Sahra, before we get into the competition, what do you think of hard rock music?
Can I swear?
Yeah, because nobody's listening.
It's a bit drolly, isn't it?
I don't know what that means.
It's just a noise sometimes.
Louise, what do you think about hard rock music?
Well, I think I was the originator of the phrase, when will it ever end?
Yes, that is true. That was more than 30 years ago.
I have made a living out of heavy
You have
metal.
made a living out of heavy metal.
Yeah.
There's a declared interest.
Don't bite the hand that feeds.
Exactly. I can't curse it all.
Which is why, Mother Johnson, your questions are going to be a little bit more taxing. You should have an encyclopedic knowledge of the genre.
Last night we nearly divorced. I don't know what came upon me. While the Mike Louise was cooking dinner, I decided to take control of Spotify and put on the latest album from Deep Purple. And she stormed out of the room and came back in and went, "That was absolutely horrible." And I was listening to a nice podcast, and then you just came in and took it over and put this awful music on.
Should we crack on?
Christmas cheer. We've got our little party hats on. The crackers have been pulled. And now it's down to business. Who out of these two fine ladies knows the most about hard rock? Who's going to go first? Huntsy, let's have the toss.
Louise, do you want to call heads or tails?
I'll go tails.
It is Tiger Tails.
So you get to choose. Do you go first or second?
I go second.
She's going second.
She's going to go second.
Sarah's on the hockey.
What are the rules?
Very, very simple rules. 10 questions, 1 point for a correct answer, a big for a wrong answer, and we see who comes out as the queen of hard rock.
Can I just suggest a tweak? Maybe if someone doesn't know the answer, there is a possibility to steal.
Bonus point.
Okay, then. I'm ready with my pen.
So, Sarah.
Is it 1 point for a correct answer and 1 point for a steal?
Yes. Dim the lights. Sarah, question number 1 for you. Which drummer with whom I once recorded a version of the Led Zeppelin classic Rock and Roll, and where Roger Daltrey said the vocals were shit, retired from Iron Maiden this year?
She doesn't know the answer. Chance to steal.
I do know the answer. Go McBrain.
Yes, Nico McBrain.
Never heard of him.
You've never heard of Nico McBrain?
Is Nico the guy that plays golf?
Yes.
Story.
That's like,
I know
Oh,
that
she
guy.
can have a point for that.
If you told me a golf question,
we're giving you a point, Sarah. You've saved yourself. Question 2. Which member of Kiss was known for doing an onstage dance that looked like a version of the Birdie song? No.
his name is.
He's the star child. He's the front man. He's
Boo! Don't know.
right. She doesn't know.
Right, Louise, do you want to steal?
It's Paul Stanley.
Oh.
It is another point to Mother Johnson.
Question 3. There's a Swedish group whose lead singer is called Papa Emeritus IV. Our researchers have told us it isn't his real name. But can you name the band he's in? Papa Emeritus IV. He's quite a spooky man, Sarah.
Is it Alice Cooper?
Alice Cooper.
Mother Johnson.
Ghost.
Oh.
It is Ghost Star. She's
Huntsy, your idea of the steal is backfiring massively on Next question. Question 4, Sarah. Lars Ulrich is known as the boiled egg of rock. But what thrash band does he drum for?
Lars Ulrich, thrash band.
Boiled egg of rock.
Who's the biggest thrash band ever? What's a thrash band? I've got a lot of work to do. Anthrax?
Yeah.
Anthrax? No.
It's Metallica.
Oh, Louise.
Metallica.
Oh, yeah.
This is not going well.
I admire Sarah more and more with every
Yes,
question.
because she really knows nothing.
Question 5.
DC guitarist Angus Young always performs wearing a schoolboy uniform. But what age is the little Australian? You can be within 5 years to get the point.
How old is he now?
How old is the little Australian now?
72.
She's got a point! Yes! 69. Question 6. In recent times, Guns N' Roses vocalist Axl Rose has frequently been compared to a slightly saucy 1970s TV comedian.
Benny Hill.
Yes! Benny Hill.
There's no stopping her now.
Next question. Can you name 2 rock songs with the word rock in the title? And as a hint, Def Leppard have got about 50 of them. Any band?
Um.
Bon Jovi, you've got a couple.
Okay.
Opening track on New Jersey.
Silence. When will this ever end, Louise?
What's the opening track on New Jersey's never?
No, that's never going to help, is it? 2 songs with rock in the title might work.
Don't know.
Okay, Louise, do you want to steal?
Let's Get Rocked.
Bye.
Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Because you said
That's not technically right because it's the word rocked, not the
Okay,
word
yeah,
rock.
yeah, we're going to say no to that.
Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution.
Yeah,
Is that a single?
very
Is
good,
that a
yeah.
song?
That's a good one, yeah.
She's gone blank.
Oh, this is just silly.
Just as a thought, what about a song called Rock and Roll by Led Zeppelin? Next question, Sarah. Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath is well known for having sliced off which part of his anatomy when he was a teenager working in a sheet metal factory in Birmingham. Hint, it wasn't his penis.
No, I think it's going to be a finger of some description.
Hey! Point for Sarah. Question number 9. The glam metal vocalist of Poison, who had a huge hit with Every Rose Has Its Thorn, once wrote another song with the immortal line, he knelt down on his knees. Where else are you going to kneel? That makes him a legend, of course, but can you name him?
Singer of Poison.
I don't know what
It rhymes with Chet Prickles.
This is something Michaels. Jet Michaels.
Chet Michaels.
Half point for Michaels. Half a point for Michaels. It was Brett Michaels.
Brett.
What's
Brett.
Your final question. We all know glam rockers Tiger Tails, don't we?
Yes.
And their original vocalist, Stevie James. Spell Stevie James. Bear in mind it's the world of metal.
Stivi.
Great effort.
Evi. Stevi. Steve.
Oh, these are so close.
Eevee. Stevie.
Oh, that'll be brilliant. Like Sleazebees.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, no.
What about James? Have a go at James for half a point. Stevie, incidentally, was Steeevi. Everybody knows.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, of course, yeah.
James.
How would you spell James in the world of heavy metal?
Don't know.
She's not going to get it.
No, I've got a clue.
Mother Johnson, do you want to steal? Half a point?
I do know this. Jaimz.
I'm making an executive decision at the end of that round that the steal points are all disbarred.
Yeah.
Just because I've decided it. So no points for Louise, unlucky. 4.5 points for Sarah.
Whoop, whoop.
Yeah, 4.5.
I'm quite proud of that.
To be honest with you, that's not bad.
Not bad. Moving along.
Right. Are you ready for this?
As ready as I'll ever be.
Right. Question 1. Saul Hudson is his real name, but who do we know him as?
Slash.
Correct. Question 2. Son of a Bitch was the original name of which legendary British heavy metal band?
Son of a bitch.
The original name.
I like it when you speak dirty.
Is it Saxon?
She's gone and got it.
That's deep knowledge for someone who hates metal.
Question 3. Ross the Boss was the guitarist in which American heavy metal band?
Manowar.
Oh my God, she's got it. Seriously. Question 4. Look What the Cat Dragged In was the debut album by which band?
Oh, I've got 2 in my head. Poison or Faster Pussycat.
What are you going for?
I think I'm going to go for Poison.
Correct. Question 5. Before joining Def Leppard, guitarist Phil Collen was in which band?
You're going to hate me. It's Girl.
Oh my God. You should do the podcast instead of us.
Yeah. Shall we resign and let her get on with it?
I don't know what any of it sounds like.
Well, that's only a plus.
Question 6.
Okay.
Who was on the very first cover of Kerrang magazine?
Yes, I don't know. When would it have been? Early 80s.
Your husband wasn't working on the magazine at this point?
Not at this point. I was soon there.
He was.
Was it AC/DC?
Well, that's technically incorrect because the answer was Angus Young. The whole band weren't featured on the front.
Right, okay, so that's no points. That's no
points.
points. Harsh but fair. Harsh but fair.
Yeah. Question 7. OU812 is an album by which American band?
Van Halen.
Yeah, the follow-up to 5150. Well done.
I'm so proud.
Question 8. Punky Meadows played guitar for which band?
Angel.
Yeah.
I even saw what he looked like on the Zoom interview. Hojo did an interview with him and I could see in the background what he looked like on the screen, and he had his hair fully crimped.
I'd say radiant.
Radiant.
There was a glow from behind, wasn't there? An ethereal glow.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Legendary man. Question 9. Whose live album was called Live in the Heart of the City?
White Snake.
Oh, for God's sake.
I was going to say David Coverdale, and then I thought,
Oh, yeah. After the knockback
Yeah,
on
after the
Angus
knockback,
Young, you
we-
didn't want to make that mistake
No.
again, did you?
Finally, question 10. Bunny Carlos was the drummer of which iconic American band?
Cheap Trick, the
Oh.
band we watched together from the expensive seats in the Royal Albert Hall.
And we got told off by Rick Nielsen
Yeah.
for shouting "Play Mandocello." For people who are hard of seeing, Hunsy's head is in his hands.
He still loves me. They don't. Yeah.
I do. In fact, more than ever. 4.5 plays 9.
Yeah, 4.5 for Sahra, 9 for the mighty Louise. Louise is crowned the queen of hard rock.
My wife is very happy that she knows.
Absolutely nothing about rock music. Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
But we have to say, don't we? We all know who the winner is. Hard rock's the winner. That was a tremendous piece of work from both of you. What a Christmas. I don't need any presents after that. That's as good as it gets.
Well, there you go.
That was a Christmas special. What a tremendous performance from both ladies. Thank you so much. And for putting up with us for as long as you have. Wow. Doesn't matter how much you know about metal, you deserve a medal. Let's do it all again. What, next week, should we say? Should we make it a regular part of the show?
No, let's
it's
not.
fine, thank
Let's
you.
not. Are we going to wrap up this week's episode?
Yeah, we're going to wrap up this week's episode. So, Hunnsy, the shame of the wife who knows nothing about metal will not stop you from telling people how they can get in touch with us, how they can participate in Hojo and Hunssy's Hard Rock House. So take it away.
Usual places. So Facebook, Hojo and Hunssy's Hard Rock House. That is the most active place for people. So come and join the conversation. Instagram, it's Hojo_Hunnsy. We're also in our early days of Blue Sky, but we are on there. We seem to get a bit of engagement. A lot of people are coming over to Blue Sky now, which is good. And then finally, you can just drop us an email at hojoandhunsy@gmail.com. And we still haven't mentioned the mystery guest.
I still haven't edited his interview. Sorry, mystery guest. Anyway, thank you for all of you who've discovered our podcast this year. Please spread the word. Tell one other person about the nonsense that we're doing here. And hopefully this time next year, we'll all be wearing gold-plated Crocs and living in the lap of luxury.
There will be another episode before the end of the year, though.
All right, ladies. All right, gentlemen. Have a fun Christmas.
Go and listen to Helix's version of Silent Night. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and I'll be seeing you, old friend Hunnsy, this time next week.
See you
All
later.
right.
Good Christmas.
Bye-bye.